What's up, everyone? This is producer Dennys, and I'm a pretty avid video game player, so I figured once a week I could review whatever game I played last. I play retro titles and current titles, so it'll probably be just mixed in there. And I'll probably work backwards through last year, all the games I played, reviewing them, and spiking in new ones as I play them. So, hope you enjoy the series. We'll be kicking it off with Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is a survival horror game, over-the-shoulder shooter where you'll be shooting and fighting monsters. The monsters are a manifestation of James Sutherland's subconscious, and they get darker as you progress through the story, as does the overall setting entirely. I found this game to be truly horrific in some spots. There's two levels in particular that are just absolutely terrifying. Silent Hill 2 is about James Sunderland receiving a letter from his wife that says, "Meet me at our special place in Silent Hill." The plot twist, his wife has been dead for 3 years. So the game starts with you arriving at Silent Hill to investigate how you received a letter from her. Compared to the original, the graphics of this one are much better, but it maintains all of the original atmosphere, which is what made the original game popular in the first place. And this game has a very intense and crippling fog effect and darkness effect, in which you can use a flashlight in the game in order to see. The remake takes this to the next level, making it impossible to see without your flashlight, thus making the atmosphere much more crippling and much more intense. So I'd say compared to the original, this one definitely blows it out of the water. While still being incredibly faithful to the original, so A plus in graphics. Sound design, they brought back the original composer. A lot of the sound design is borrowed from what worked in the first game. Just odd, unique sounds that just make you tense pretty much the entire time. Anytime you see something, the sound effect of the excitement of seeing it is just top notch. I'd give sound design in this game definitely a 10 out of 10. The controls are very tight in this game. The combat is very tight and intense. Taking just 3 hits can kill you. So even just common enemies are still a struggle. And then boss fights are their own thing. Each boss fight is unique to the boss, which is great because the original was kind of just run, shoot, get hit, heal, run, shoot, get hit, heal. This one actually requires a strategy and in a lot of cases is pretty cinematic. So I'd say they elevated the whole experience to make it a 10 out of 10 compared to the original. The interactions are great. You can pretty much make any text and interactable larger and easier to see. You can make enemies easier to see. Tons of things to just make this game very playable for a modern player. For a person who is a common player who doesn't necessarily play survival horror games or like scary games or psychological horror games, anything of that nature, I will have to knock this game down a little bit for them just because this game deals with very heavy psychological themes. It also involves intense violence in some cases and just some pretty off-putting things, which is going to turn off a lot of people. And trying to give it a fair, I'd have to give it maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. If you can stomach and grit through, really persevere, the reward is so great because the story in this game is just second to none. I give it a score personally of 9.5. That's how I feel about it. I guess really the only reason I can knock it is that it's not an original IP. It is a remake of an original game which was already good, and they really truly elevated it. So I give it a 9.5, that really being the only diss I have. The new one adds extra endings, it improved the combat, and improved the controls, just quality of life improvements across the board. But yeah, I guess if you're not a fan of horror, this one's really not going to appeal to you. And yeah, if you're not a fan of remakes, this probably is not going to appeal to you as well. So personal score, 9.5. Check it out, Silent Hill 2 Remake.